There aren't many places that you go in our daily lives on a regular basis where strangers will just come up to you and start talking. And somehow a teardrop trailer can like tear down those barriers, and it's just a conversation starter, and you get to connect with people that ordinarily you would never have had a conversation with. We're Escapod, and we make teardrop trailers in Wanship, Utah. We all came from extremely different backgrounds. Me as a professional skier, Chris from hospitality, Eckel in graphic design. But it's really that desire for freedom and exploration that has brought us all together and keeps us going every day.
It wasn't like I woke up one day when I was 20 and decided that I want to build teardrop trailers for a living. Jen and I had developed a life of constant adventure. That's how we met.
Chris and I met in April 2014.
I was living in California at the time. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to go ride in Moab, and so that was my trip, my time to go do that.
I was on a 2-week road trip by myself, just my car and my bike and a sleeping bag. I came around a corner and scratched my bike on a rock and got super frustrated. Chris was standing on this cliff's edge waiting for his buddy, and I look up and noticed that he saw me have this really embarrassing little tantrum. We ended up riding the rest of that day together and riding the next 2 days together. After that, we just never stopped talking.
You know, 3 months after I met Jen, I moved to Utah. It was just something, you know, I connected obviously with her, but in this beautiful place as well.
We built our first teardrop trailer in 2014. We just wanted to get back to our roots and connect to something that gave us joy, which was mountain biking and exploration. 2 years later, we decided to turn it into a business.
We were welding and running saws, I mean, all into the night. Again, this was something that we did on the side at first.
We spent a long time talking about what we were gonna name it. For us, it was this idea of just like going on an escapade, like making a show, like being seen and having fun. And we were like, well, we're building these teardrops, which are like pods, so what if we called it Escapod? We had a product and we had a name, but what we really needed was someone who could bring the brand to life. Chris mentioned Eckel and his design background.
Yeah, when Chris reached out, I was living in New York at the time and feeling pretty burnt out. So he suggested that my girlfriend and I come to Utah and take a pod for a month. Throughout that time of living in it and seeing people's reactions to the trailer, it really started getting me thinking about the possibilities of how design could play a role in a company that was so much more meaningful and so much more fun. So 6 months later, I decided to move out and commit to Escapod full time.
We built these trailers to satisfy a need that we couldn't find when we were looking for trailers. Everything that we were looking at was out of our price range, or if it was in our price range, we just didn't think it was gonna handle what we were gonna throw at it.
As a lifelong builder, making the highest quality product that we could possibly make is of the utmost importance. When it came time to really build a product that I could stand behind, it had to be on a frame I welded.
I think there's definitely, you know, a clearly observable level of obsession in Chris.
We use the highest grade materials that we can possibly find. We go through ridiculous levels of waterproofing, of using insulation in places that others don't. We strap on 21 gallons of water. We put heaters in them. We do hot water heaters. We do stoves, propane on board.
Those are the areas where if you don't know who's building it, it's really easy to cut corners. And I think that's one of the really important things for us. You care. Everything that you do right.
Every trailer we build, it's constantly, you know, at the forefront of our minds. It's like, you know, what will it be like to sleep in this, to cook in this, to have your family in this. Every minor little detail affects that overall impression.
We know that memories are going to be made and experiences are going to be had in each one of these trailers that rolls out the door. Knowing that we get to play a role in someone's life beyond just here's a new toy. We get to help them share experiences. That's the most fulfilling part.